Hi guys, Mike Views It All here. Thanks for tuning in again. I'm going to do a little bit of NFL news today. So Cam Newton just lost his endorsement with Dannon Yogurt. They've cut ties with him following what's considered to be a sexist comment. The AP headline actually was Dannon cuts ties with Cam Newton following sexist comment. They said Dannon has dropped their endorsement of NFL superstar quarterback Cam Newton following a statement he gave to female reporter Jourdan Rodrigue. So the initial statement when I looked at it was, it's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like, it's funny. And I hadn't seen the video yet, and I hadn't seen her question, just the follow-up statement. And I thought, does he mean it's funny to hear a female talk about routes? Like it's funny, or does he mean someone that hasn't played football and hasn't been on the field? That's funny, because those are two totally different things. So did he misspeak? I mean, either way, obviously people that haven't played football have been great broadcasters in the past. But so go back to her original quote. Jourdan Rodrigue in the post press conference asked Cam Newton. He said, in her exact words, Devin Funchess has seemed to really embrace the physicality of his routes and getting those extra yards. Does that give you a little bit of enjoyment to see him kind of truck sticking people out there? So Cam Newton, looking directly at her, calmed and composed, like he's trying to get that Luther Vandross voice going, looks at her with a grin from ear to ear and says, "It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like, it's funny." Then he continues to go on and answer the question seriously, like you would expect him to do to any other reporter. So I had to think back and reflect a little bit about the history of the NFL and what's going on there and say, what is the intent here? Is this a female thing? Is this a person that hasn't played football thing? And then you got to think about a guy named Chris Berman. He started broadcasting, if you haven't heard of him, for ESPN in 1979. He coined the phrase rumbling, fumbling, stumbling, and a lot of other things. So, and he never played a day of football in his freaking life. Not only did he not play NFL football, he did not play at Brown University when he went there to college. He was always into broadcasting. So I find that very odd that he would say that about a female. So I think that makes it much worse. The guy hasn't been known to have the best judgment in the past. Throwing a fan's flag down, a child, and stomping on it. There's been some other things, a spitting incident. And the guy seems to have an impulse control, if you ask me. So this reporter, Jourdan Rodrigue, she responded on Twitter, actually, yesterday. Says, "I don't think it's funny to be a female and talk about routes. I think it's my job." And I think it is her job. As of yesterday at 4 p.m., that tweet had received 89,000 likes and almost 20,000 retweets. Good job for you, Twitter. And good job for you, Jourdan Rodrigue, sticking up for women in a male-dominated field. There's no reason that a woman can't broadcast an NFL football game, or that women can't enjoy these sports and football the same way that a guy can, especially a guy that's never played the game. What is the difference here? Unless you're being sexist, how can you see this as anything other than sexist? And Cam Newton has not given an apology on this. I don't know if he will. He probably will give some kind of fake apology, but here's the thing. I mean, unless he can go back and reflect like I did, I mean, he's not sorry for what he said. He's probably sorry he lost his endorsement. He's probably sorry he picked that time to say it. Did his opinion in less than a week change on whether he thinks it's funny to hear women talk about routes? Most likely not. And this really, he really needs to apologize to his teammates, to the entire Panther organization, to all of their fans. This is coming off a 33 30 victory against the New England Patriots, the defending Super Bowl champions, a team a lot of people favor to win the Super Bowl again. And, you know, the Panthers had a pretty disappointing season last year, to say the least. And to come off a victory like that, this should be a celebration party. And instead, my camera falls down in the middle of filming. Wow, that's professional. Instead, everyone's talking about this sexist quote. He's out there losing an endorsement after, you know, one of his greatest performances in probably a very, very long time against a great team. And that just shows his ability to just self-destruct in front of the media. I mean, Cam Newton is definitely his own worst enemy. I mean, and I know I'm supposed to have a little bit of bias coming from a Seattle Seahawks fan, but, you know, I was ready to kind of give him the benefit of the doubt when I seen the headline. When I really look at everything and the context that it was set in and thing, I just find this really unjustifiable. It really, to me, I mean, I think he should apologize not just to women, but to men. All men. Everyone. Because not only does this set women back, you know, it highlights sexist behavior still going on in the year 2017. When some of these more radical feminists, or whatever you want to call it, that weaponize these kinds of arguments in workplaces that really have worked above and beyond to create a fair environment, it just says, look, this is how far we've come. We haven't come anywhere. You got a football player on the sideline saying that a female doesn't even deserve to be there. And for that, Cam Newton, I find your actions disgusting, and you are my douchebag of the week. Thanks for tuning in to another video. But, you know, what I think is the only thing that's important, please give me a like and subscribe, but please tell me what you think down in the comments. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you think I'm being too hard on Cam? Do you think I'm not being hard enough? What's your feelings about this? As a Carolina, I would like to hear from some Carolina Panther fans, maybe some fans of some other teams, some Patriots fans, whoever out there. I would like to get everybody's opinion on this and see, you know, am I overreacting to this? Am I playing into the media's hand? Or is this, you know, really as bad as they're making it out to be? Which, in my mind, it's kind of despicable and inexcusable. But you let me know what you think down there in the comment section. And I will read the best comments on Sunday before the games. Thanks very much for tuning in to another Mike Reviews It All, and I look forward to seeing you guys later. Thank you.